Hi guys, this is Mrs. Cornett, and this is part 3 of section 11.1 from our textbook. And this is actually the third video in a set of 3 that go along with section 11.1. So make sure that you have watched the first 2 videos as well. This video will be all about using the metric system. In our last video, I talked about that there's 2 systems of measurements. The U.S. customary units, which are also known as the imperial units of measurement, and there's the metric system. I want to show you this map because all of the countries that are in that grayish color, they use the metric system, and the countries in red use those customary units. And isn't it interesting that there is only 3 countries in the entire world that do not use the metric system? And it's a fascinating story. There was times in our past here in the United States where they tried to pass bills through Congress that we would convert over to the metric system, but basically it came down to the Industrial Revolution, and we already had these big factories and they were already programmed to make things in inches and feet and gallons, and so they didn't want to have to redo all that to convert everything to metric, and so here we are today. We have some metric units around, so for example a 2 liter of Coke, or you may take like 50 milligrams of aspirin, and so every once in a while you'll see the metric system pop up here in America, but for the most part we stick with those customary units. And so in this video I am going to show you how to convert units in the metric system. The metric system is a base 10 system, which is great because so is our numbers that we use, and there is prefixes that go along with each of the different units. And I have this chart here that you may just want to pause the video and just take it all in. Here right in the middle are the 3 main units: meters, liters, and grams. And then depending on their size, the smaller sizes are deci, centi, and milli. I want you to notice they all end with an I. And then the larger ones are kilo, hecto, and deca. Okay, deca and deci are easy to get confused, but just remember that all of the ones that end in I go together, and then the other ones are kilo, hecto, and deca. They end in A or O. Maybe that will help. And you can see on the chart, a decagram is 10 times larger than the unit of a gram. And then a hectogram is 100 times larger than the unit gram. And then on the other side, we can say a centimeter is 100 times smaller than a regular meter stick. And so it's actually really easy to convert back and forth with the metric system, but I do need you to remember the order that these prefixes go in. And I have a little silly story that you can remember it. King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. There's a lot of silly ones out there, but that one is the one I chose to put in this video. But somehow you just need to have these memorized, and it needs to be in this order. The far left is kilo, hecto, deca, and then your base unit, and then deci, centi, milli. Okay, so if you take a look at your notes, you have these examples on your page as well. So let's get started. Number 1 is 36.5 centiliter. I have capitalized the base unit, and so you can see the capital L's, that stands for liters, and we are starting at centiliters, which is right here. Okay, and this is why it's really important to have the chart in front of you or to write it out on your test as you're working through the metric system, because it's very visual of how you can convert using the base 10 idea. Since we're starting in centiliters and we want to convert to liters, liters is right here. It is 2 spaces to the left, and let me show you how I decided that. It's 1 to deci, and then it's 2 to the base unit. And we move 2 spaces to the left, and so I want you to go up to this 36.5 and also move the decimal 2 places to the left, exactly how you moved it on the conversion chart. That's how you're going to move it in the actual number. The digits are not moving at all unless you have to put a placeholder. You're not using your calculator at all. You're just moving the decimal back and forth. And so 36.5 centiliters is 0.365 liters. Okay, number 2 is 12.6 grams, and we want to convert that to hectograms. So we are starting right here at the base unit, and our goal is to get to hecto. I'm going to go through the same thing. In order to get to hecto, I'm moving towards the left, 1 space to deca, 2 spaces to hecto. So this is another example of where I'm moving it 2 places to the left. So you have 12.6 grams, and you're going to take the decimal and move that decimal 2 places to the left to get 0.126. Number 3, 5.9 kilometers. So kilo is down here, and we want to convert that into the base unit of meters. Okay, we're going to start with our given unit, and then we're going to count how many spaces we pass until we get to our destination unit. So 1 to the right, that's hecto. 2 to the right is deca. 3 to the right is our base unit of meters. And so we're going to take 5.9 kilometers. We're going to take the decimal that was given to us in the problem, and we are going to move it the same space, 1, 2, 3 spaces to the right. Now notice I moved it and it looks like I have imaginary numbers. We need to just put in some placeholders. So I'm just going to add zeros. And so 5.9 kilometers is 5,900 meters. Number 4 is 168 milliliters. So milli is way down here at the end. And then decaliters. I want you to notice that it's DA and not just D, like number 7 is a DL. When it's just a D, it's DC, and when it's a deca, it's DA. 4 says 168 milliliters equals how many decaliters? And so we want to go all the way here to deca. So let's start counting. 1 to the left, 2 to the left, 3 to the left, 4 to the left. And so this number, 168 milliliters, we are going to move the decimal 4 places to the left. So there's no decimal that we can see. So whenever there is a whole number like this, the decimal is always at the far right after the last number. And we're moving this 4 places to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we will need a placeholder. And so 168 milliliters is 0.0168. Take a glance at these first 4 problems. Notice that the actual numbers did not change, like the numerals that we use. Number 1, we had 365, and the answer is 365. Number 2, we had 1, 2, and 6. The answer is 1, 2, and 6. So there's no need to pull out your calculator or do the dimensional analysis work. This is just moving back and forth across the conversion chart. Okay, let's do 3 more examples. We have 0.873 hectograms, so hecto is here, and we want to convert that to the base unit of grams, which is here. And so starting with our given unit of hectograms, we'll move it 1 to the right, 2 to the right to get to the base unit. So we'll take this number 0.873 and move it 2 spaces to the right, and that's where we'll put our decimal. And so 0.873 hectograms is 87.3 grams. Okay, next, number 6 is 9.258 decagrams, and we want to see how many milligrams that is. So here is deca, and milli is way down here at the end. So that is 1 space, 2, 3, 4 spaces to the right. So we're going to take the given number, 9.258, and move the decimal 4 spaces to the right. So here's the decimal, 1, 2, 3, 4. We do need 1 0 as a placeholder, and we should put a comma as well. So this will be 92,580. Number 7 is 18.5 liters equals how many deciliters? So deca is right here, and we're starting just at the base unit, so it's not too far away. We just need to move it one time to the right. So we take 18.5 and take the decimal where it was given to us and move it one place to the right to get 185 deciliters. Okay, that is all the examples that I have for you on the metric system. If you want to see more examples, please go to YouTube. There are so many videos and resources that can give you additional practice. Make sure you memorize the order of these prefixes, and of course, let me know if you have any questions.